5 Design Space features you need to master. Hey crafty friends, I'm Sarah, and today with Creative Fabrica, I'm going to give you an in-depth explanation of 5 different Design Space features that I think you need to know about if you want to master this software. These features in particular are going to give you way more options. You're not just stuck selecting a design or a project from Cricut Access, and you can get way more creative. Maybe you're a complete Cricut beginner, or you might have been using Cricut for a little while, but hopefully there will be something for everyone in this video. Before we start, I do need to mention that your design space might look a little bit different to mine, depending on what machine you have. There might have also been an update between now and when you're watching this video, or if you're using the app, then all of the features will be in a different place. But the essence of what I'm sharing should be the same no matter what version you're using. So let's take a look. So let's first go over to Creative Fabrica to find a design so I can show you this first feature. Just going with this bundle. To access it, right click and click open, or double click to unzip and then open up the folder. And we're going to check out upload first. So you can access that here on Design Space, and do take note of the compatible file types. You can't upload any and every file type here. For print and cut projects though, I really recommend looking for high quality PNG files if possible. That's what I'm uploading here. Now press continue, and this page is what I want to show you, as there are a few options you can use to edit your design. If you wanted to remove, say, this wording, you can click select and then click on the bit you want to get rid of. However, sometimes this may happen where it leaves some of the color behind. So what you can do to remedy that is increase the color tolerance here, then try again, and hopefully that will remove the whole thing. You may just need to play with this though, as when it's too high it can sometimes remove more than you need it to. You can also erase sections by clicking on the erase function and increasing the slider to make it bigger. Then just swipe that over the section you want to remove. This can take a bit longer, so it's better for small sections that are connected to other parts of the design. The select tool is a lot easier to use for wording. Then if you removed something by accident, you can use restore to make it reappear. If you toggle on preview single layer, this will show you if you have missed any parts that may be harder to see if they're a light color, or just small slivers like this. Then you can use the erase tool to remove them. And if you have Cricut Access, you can use remove background to get rid of any background layers, or you can also use the select tool for that too. And you can use the select tool if you want to turn any parts of your design transparent. Again, just using the preview single layer to make sure that has worked. Then when you apply, upload as a flat graphic for print and cut. And doing all of this means you can use this graphic with different wording or as a design on its own. Now let's go back to Creative Fabrica, and I'll find another file so I can show you another way you can edit designs. I'll go with this one. And actually, if you have an SVG file, I would always choose that one so it will be separated into layers and you can edit it that way. But if you don't have an SVG option, or the SVG doesn't come as layers, then this is what you can do. Click on the design and go to contour, and then click on anything that you no longer want. You can either click on the design itself or click the sections down the right hand side. You can zoom in if needed. Just keep going until each section you don't want has turned white. Then click apply, and that will make it disappear. Contour is also great if you upload a design and it's all one color, but you want to change it into multiple colors. Just duplicate as many times as you want different colors, then go through and remove everything but the one layer you want to keep. Then continue, do the next layer, click on everything else around it and click apply. It helps if you change the colors as you go so you can see what else you need to do. Then just keep going until each part of the design is on a separate layer like this. Then there is also another thing that contour is good for, but I'll show you that a little bit later in the video. This next feature is particularly helpful if you want to make large designs that are bigger than your mat on your machine. So I'm just downloading this bundle and uploading this design as an SVG and grouping into separate layers. You can see instantly that there is a red warning sign saying it is too large to cut on my mat, and I would have to make it significantly smaller to fit. So what you can do instead is add a square, resize it to be the same size as you can cut on your mat. So for the larger mats, that is 23.5 by 11.5 inches. For the smaller ones, it would be 11.5 by 11.5. Then we're going to use that to split the design. So find a good midpoint. You may still need to make it a bit smaller if you want to cut it into two. And if you're using an SVG like me, you can move some of the layers out of the way, then select and unite anything you want to split at the same time. Pull your rectangle over the top, select all and hit slice. Then just remove the bits you don't need, and that will cut the shape in half. Then you may want to put your design back together and attach any parts you can cut at the same time. Then when you make it, you will just have to line it back up as straight as possible to reconnect the lines. Another way you could use this is if you found a design for a glass wrap, for example, but it needed to be a different size to fit a different glass or item altogether, but just resizing it made it look squashed. Then you could add a shape the same size as the item you wanted to make, pull that over the top and make sure each layer is united. Then select your rectangle and each layer and slice them one by one. You can only do one at a time. Then again, get rid of any sections you don't need, and you may also want to use contour to remove any really small sections that may be too tiny to cut. Then there are other ways to use this too, but the previous two things are a really good way to practice it. Now let's go take a look at the text features. Just going back to Cricut Fabrica to find a font, and I'm choosing this one as I'm going to show you how to add these tails as well. Just unzip and right click and click Font Book or Font Files if you're on Windows, or double click to install it. Then if you have a project on your canvas, save that, then click View and force Reload to refresh Design Space so that the font will show up in the System Fonts section. Then you obviously have the options to change colour and size across the top, but you can also go to Format and change the space in between the letters if you need less or more, and the space in between each line too. You can use text wrapping if you need the wording to fit within a certain area, and you can ungroup to lines to separate wording and ungroup to letters to separate individual letters, which is really helpful when you're making things like cake toppers where you need all of the letters to be touching, or if you just want to make some letters larger than others and move them around. Then this next thing isn't actually a Design Space feature, but if you want tails on your letters, as I mentioned, open up Font Book or your font folder on Windows, search for the font you're using, then scroll down until you find the letters with swashes like this. Now you need to just click on the one you want to use, click copy, then paste that into Design Space. Then you can just type as normal for any standard letters and copy and paste any others you want to use. Then you could also flip, warp if you have Cricut Access, and curve your wording to play around with it even further. Then finally, let's take a look at making stickers and other print and cut projects. And you can look for designs like this that already have an outline added, but you don't need to. You can use any image really, so I'm going to choose these dogs. Then instead of using a blank canvas, we're going to go to New and open up a Stickers and Labels canvas. And this space here is how much room you have available when making a print and cut project. Just make sure this number matches the size of your paper. If it doesn't, go to Settings, Load Type, and change the print and cut page size here to match it. Then upload your design as a flat graphic and it will automatically add a sticker outline to the image. This feature is now free for everyone. It's no longer behind the Cricut Access paywall, which is great news. Just click on the little circle below to edit. If Kiss Cut is selected, that means it will only cut through the top layer of your sticker paper, not through the backing. So that's perfect for making sticker sheets. You can turn the border off although I wouldn't recommend that for designs with intricate edges like this. And you can edit the thickness of the border. I would resize to the size you want it before editing that. And you can set it to a custom size too if you need to. You can also change the color of the border, and it's not relevant on this design, but if you toggle cut interior shapes on and there are gaps in the design somewhere, then it will cut those out too, rather than just the outside outline. Then die cut is going to cut through the backing paper of the design, so this is the best option if you want individually cut stickers. And all of the settings are the same, except you can also add an easy peel edge, which just means it will die cut the outside edge and kiss cut the inner edge, giving you this little border that makes your design easier to peel off the backing paper. The issue with using this canvas and the stickers feature, however, is that it will limit what cut settings you can use. So you can only choose from the printable options. All of the other cut settings will be grayed out. So if you wanted to turn this into a card project instead, you couldn't. So what you can do is open up a blank canvas instead and upload your design. I'll use this one again. And you can actually use the sticker feature from here as well. But for more cut setting options, click offset, adjust the slider and apply. Then if you don't want these gaps, this is another way you can use contour. Just click hide all contours and apply for them to disappear. You can then change the color. Then the most important bit is to select all and flatten. Then it will only cut around the outside when you click make, and you will have access to the full list of cut settings. You don't have to add an offset though. You could also add a shape, say if you wanted to make a card with wording as well. But again, just remember to select and hit flatten before clicking make. If you don't add an outline or backing and flatten everything, then when you click make, your machine will try and cut out all of the individual details rather than just cutting the outline. Did you know how to use all of these features? And are there any others that you think we should do a deep dive into? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe and share with all of your crafty friends. Until next time, happy crafting.